now. Okay, yeah, we're on. Peanut?
Oh, we're live. Oh,
I'm
I
just a
took some
co-host.
water.
Go
My
ahead.
throat bugging. I'm just a co-host.
You should call that singing to
All
you
right,
in the car on
so
your way home.
so today we talking about the AFC East. We'll be previewing the AFC East. We got a guest on today, RJ. And say hi to everybody, RJ.
Hi, everybody.
Now, RJ was the Dolphins last year, and he stayed in division, and he got the Jets. So, what was your reasoning behind getting the Jets? You had a pretty good pick.
Yeah, I'm a dummy. So, no, it was really just taking a team that I thought would need to be replaced multiple times throughout the year for Madden. So, I figured I'd jump on a grenade.
Jump on that grenade. So, how do you talked about a grenade? How you feel about like the upcoming season? Do you feel like you have any chance of making it to the playoffs with that team?
I do, but that's because my division is weak. That wasn't my plan when I took the Jets. Like I told Tina earlier, I'm like, I've never lost to anybody in my division, so this might be the year, though.
That's a great start. And just to vouch for what he's saying, I would never talk about what's said in admin chat. Obviously I'm not trying to. I wouldn't try to start anything or make private topics, bring it to general, but even before RJ was up to pick, he was already talking about the Jets. And that was like around pick 5, pick 6. He was already talking about taking the Jets because of how much trouble it was to fill him last year. So by just karma alone, he should win the division.
Well, I did seriously consider trolling Fogel and taking the Steelers for a second.
You should have did it.
That was a serious thing.
Fogel, you'll be happy to know RJ tagged me and I did not respond. That might be why you have a today.
Oh man.
So you said you never lost to anybody in your division, but if you had to pick one person like you were most afraid of this upcoming season, who would it be?
I mean, it's got to be Hydro. Like we played like
he's so good, right?
Yeah, that's it. The user skill. Not that he's got the best team in the game or anything like that. But I think we played one game that I beat him by like 30. And then the next game it was by like 2 touchdowns. So at the rate we're going, by like the end of the season, he should at least tie me. So
being that you know him, how did he take it? Did he complain about it?
I haven't talked to him in like I haven't seen him in like 6 weeks. So
no, I'm talking about when you played.
Oh no, you shouldn't talk to me for like a day or so. But because so many, like I can remember one play specifically when I had the Cardinals, where I had a wide receiver on the streak, and he does like so many defensive adjustments. And like just nobody covered the wide receiver on the streak. And I'm looking for a play, and I'm looking for like somebody to throw to, and I look 40 yards downfield, and there's nobody here. I'm like, all right, I guess that's the guy. But yeah, like it's just, if it works, it works. But I don't think it ever worked for me, so I don't know.
And the reverse question: who are you least worried about in your division? Like,
see, it's not a nice question.
You don't have to answer. It's a question.
I'll say
I
it's
know
my
the
German
answer,
friend.
but I'll listen.
Yeah, it's my German friend.
So you feel like your German friend is soft. Feel like you could just walk over him. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'll never call a German soft. I don't think that
will go well. But seriously, you said the Dolphins. Why would you pick the Dolphins out of all the teams?
I think they're an older team already. It's the same thing I told him in GM when he was asking me about the Dolphins when it was his choice.
Yeah,
they're an older team. They're an expensive team. Like they're not nearly as fast as some of the other teams. Like the Jets are. You must not
have heard the news though. I see maybe your ESPN didn't work. You do know they picked up Jay Cutler, right?
I actually haven't heard that. That's breaking news. think that's going to help in the Madden world.
Yeah, he probably
I don't
still
think
start
Colby's
Ryan.
gonna like me by the end of this podcast.
So, what do you feel like you'll miss most about your old team, the Dolphins, being that that's your favorite team?
I guess like the familiarity with the team. Like I knew who they had, I knew who was where, and what they could do. Like I know nothing about the Jets. I picked them, and I think they switched to a 3-4, and I don't know that 3-4.
Yeah, I see. They got Sheldon Richardson at right outside linebacker.
I got like 72 speed linebackers like this. No. So, I was like, wait, did they switch to a 3-4? And I think Tina told me they did. I'm like, all right, that's not good.
What?
But I don't know anything about this team. Like I know the quarterback, I know Hackenberg. That's really it. So, yeah, it'll be a rough year.
Maybe not.
Who on offense, besides the quarterback, do you think is going to be most important for you to have a good season?
I mean, whoever I have at tight end, or they got a rookie, I think, from Clemson.
Yep, you got a rookie, and you got Austin Severian-Jenkins. He's back.
I do. Yeah, I got two of those guys. So, well, I think I'm gonna have to run a lot of two tight end offenses. What the hell was that?
So, what about on defense? Who you feel like will be a breakout player this year?
I'm hoping it's my middle linebacker. They got a guy that I saw on their roster named Jaron Lee. I don't know anything about him.
He's super fast. I know I think he has 88 speed. Yeah, he's a super athletic guy. I think they drafted him last year.
Yeah, 90 acceleration. Like he looks like a good user linebacker, but I got sure. Jamal Adams too. So I think he's probably going to be, in the way that I play defense, my strong safety is always one of the stronger players on my defense. Whether it was Rashad Jones or I think I had Deion Buchanan there when I had the Cardinals. So,
and he said recently he wants to die on the field too. So that's you got a soldier back there.
Okay. But yeah, so they got a couple good young pieces. So it's still scary.
What do you think about I see it in the chat you were talking about how you feel about Berm ducking and dodging two administrators. You got the owner in there, BX, you got you, and also your old coworker Hydro. He didn't want to. How you feel about him ducking and dodging?
All right, so if I could screenshot the PMs that I was trying to Berm from joining my division, I'm like, I really don't want to play this guy twice. I thought for sure I was going to get Wolf and Berm twice a year. I'm like, I'm going to quit.
And you dodge both.
So, I don't know how it happened, but it's my lucky day.
It's funny because you talk about Wolf. Well, I guess I love Wolf and everything. Wolf is my guy, but he's not even in my division. I was so hoping he'd go to the AFC
once a year.
Once a year, and I'm fine with that.
I mean, Wolf's not that bad for me to schedule with. Like, it's just I send him a DM say, "Hey, this is what I'm available. Pick," and he'll pick.
See, it's not maybe because you give him a direct line. He does me so wrong. If I schedule with Wolf, he'll give a time, then he'll get busy out of nowhere, and it always ends up 30 minutes before he gets up. He'll get busy and be like, give me an hour. And that next thing I know, he'll be like, yeah, we just got to do this tomorrow. Sometimes in the AM. It gets in the AM. Wolf, can we play? I got to go to work in a little bit. All right, man, let's just play at the advance. He drives me crazy with his. He knows what he's doing, too. He trolls me just to make me wait.
He's watching his tape.
You know he is.
Getting his John Madden on. Well, Sammy, do you have any more questions?
Anything I can talk to RJ about, I can talk in the admin chat.
Well, RJ, if
Everyone's
you want to
favorite
add.
admin, Mr. RJ.
You don't have to lie to me.
No, I honestly think like Hodge trolls sometimes, but I think you're the most I don't want to say by far. I don't want to be disrespectful to everyone else, but I'm pretty sure that you're the most well liked admin. Unfortunately, that means that Pat is constantly in your DMs.
Pat doesn't actually DM me, which is a nice thing for me. So, but luckily we have you now, so you get that.
Sorry, I was listening to what you were saying. Sorry, Sam, but I think you replaced him.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're available when all the kids are up. So
I'm mad. Pat is not a kid. Pat is all prime time is like 12 o'clock for Pat.
him and Hydra were tagging me in the MLB chat at 3 o'clock in the morning last night. I'm like,
I forgot. I played Hydro a few times that too, and that's terrible too. Hydro, this is nothing. Hydro's fine to play, and Hydro's not too bad to schedule with. It's just that, which is understandable, but Hydro always got to take a 30-minute break to put his kids back to sleep. Like, it's not his fault. I don't have nothing against him, but then he did. That never got me mad because I understood that. But he did. He always take a little 10-minute pause. Like, hold on, my kid is waking up. Let me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have to worry about that. I just yell at my kid to go back to sleep. But all right, I'll let you guys do your thing.
Thanks for joining us,
Thanks
RJ.
for popping on.
There you go. Yep.
Mr. RJ.
Oh, I got 2 bills. My notes are messed up. So, Sam, what team do you want to start talking about? You can take the floor. Do you want to start with the team that just left, the Jets?
Yeah, we can.
How do you want to do this?
We can.
Okay, I tried to reach out to Hydro and BX, but and Goldie, but Hydro never responded, even though he seen my message. I know you seen it, Hydro, but that's all right. BX never responded, and Goldie was. It's late there, so he was headed to bed, so they couldn't join us. So I guess we'll start with the Jets. I started off with. I know I trolled a lot in the chat, but I admire what RJ did. Like he basically took one for the team. He took the worst team in his in Madden at a pretty good. And it had I believe the 12th pick or 11th or something like that. So I admire that. And RJ is a good player. The only reason why I wanted him not to get the Jets is because he's really good, and I feel like he's good against the top players. Like he can beat Hodge and everything. So that's why I was a little disappointed, but I admire what he did. But to start with the Jets though, man, this roster is lacking talent. Like they don't have much of anything, but they got. I guess I don't know, they don't have no bright spots. I guess I'll just talk about what they do have. They got Leonard Williams at right in. He comes in at an 85. They got Forte, the old running back, 84. He still got a little skills, but his catching has went down, which is surprising to everybody. Yeah, he has 69 catching now, so I feel like that he's in New York. He can't catch anymore. They got the young safety Jamal Adams, the rookie, coming in at 81, and a big surprise for me for this team is the guys who were highlights of this team, being that Sheldon Richardson and Muhammad Wilkerson were very prominent players, good players, and they digress. Like Sheldon's only an 81, and Muhammad is only a 79, and I guess they're switching to 3-4 because they have Sheldon at right outside linebacker, which I hate because he's a bigger guy, so he's never going to be able to drop in coverage. Yeah, so I mean, the receivers, I have no idea what their names are. These guys. I mean, I feel like the Jets are going to have a hard time in season 1. How do you feel, Sam?
I'm really bothered about Matt Forte. Like, this dude catches so many passes, and you tell me his rating is so low as a receiver. Like, huh?
I
The
guess it's
thing,
the jet virus.
the thing about it is this: I look at their offensive line is pretty solid up the middle, not so much at
Yeah.
on the edges. And it's something that we talked about in the last stream. I was saying that RJ and Hodge are two of the best in the league with pocket presence. So those
Yep.
tackles are going to have to play well in order for him to be able to step up in the pocket. Like, it's not even with him running or looking to run. It's just he just moves around in the pocket like Drew Brees does if you watch him play. It's just
I was
he
about to just
knows
say
where
that
the
Drew Brees
pressure's
has
coming
the
and he's
best
just
pocket
able to
presence.
slide over a step up, boom,
Slide
balls
pass.
out.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some. He doesn't have superstars on offense. And I think
Doesn't have
honestly
anything on offense.
that's not a bad thing for him because it goes back to what we were saying. I can't remember what team we were talking about, but when you don't have superstars, it's kind of hard to figure out who you're supposed to defend. He
But
spreads the
I
ball
agree
around.
with you before that. These wide receivers, I don't know if they're going to ever get open, though. Like, I feel like he's going to go through all his reads and have to just hold the ball because I don't see much talent on the offensive side of the football.
It's going to be rough. It's not going to be easy. They've got some speed though.
Yeah, they do have some. They do have some speed, and I think that he's a very good middle linebacker user. So the kid, Deron Lee, who has, like we were talking about earlier, 88 speed. I feel like he's going to cause some havoc on the defensive side with him being that all the range he has.
Yep, he's got an 86 jump.
Mm-hmm.
Also, want to throw it out there. If any of you have played RJ, it's different when you play Hodge. I feel like when you play Hodge, when you play Berm, they can sit on the two routes. RJ play, or even for those that have played Zalad back in like Madden 16, it's the same thing. He can sit on 2-3 routes. RJ's different. It's like he knows where the ball's going. So he's just looking at that one route that you're looking at the whole time. And as soon as you think, oh, well, he's going to break this way, no, he just keeps going with it. RJ just has a knack for being in the right place at the right time on defense. He needs Richardson to perform well up front. He's going to need Richardson to be well up front. He's not Sue, but if he can give you some of what Sue gave him on last year's game, I think he can cause some problems in that division, definitely.
Sue and big Leonard Williams.
Mm-hmm.
But and Muhammad, I don't know. He just seems like he's going downhill, so I don't know if he's going to be productive. We can start. Let's talk about his former co-worker team next. We can talk about the Patriots.
The Pats.
Now this team, I think they were the number 1 or the number 2 pick. We all know Tom Brady, the ageless wonder, the greatest quarterback basically of all time.
For actual quarterback, sure.
As a 99, can't get no better. There is no 100 on this game. So he is the best quarterback on the game. Guy Gronk, I believe, is the best tight end ever. I don't like he has to go a few more years to pass up Tony Gonzalez and everything. He's the best talent, man. He's gonna have to play a few years, of course, to pass Tony, but he's the best talent I've ever seen at the tight end position.
Gotta be on the field. Gotta be on the field.
That's true, but he's just a physical mismatch, and the guy can block. He's big as ever. He's an airhead, but the guy can play some football. You got Malcolm Butler, who I believe is the top 5 corner in the league. He sticks to receivers like glue. He always guards the best receiver, whether it's Antonio Brown or Julio Jones. He comes in at a 92. And they also signed the corner from Buffalo Bills, Gilmore. He comes in at an 83. That guy, he's a long, athletic corner. So I believe he's like 6'2" or something like that. So that's gonna be good on the outside, going up against those jump balls and everything. The wide receiver core is really good. They just got Brandon Cooks from the Saints. He comes in at an 86 overall and 96 speed. So that's going to be able to open things up from Julian Edelman, who's the slot receiver, comes in at an 89. And they also have Chris Hogan, who came on pretty strong towards the end of the year. He comes in at an 83, which is pretty good, man. He came out of nowhere last year. How do you feel about those Patriots, Sam?
They have so much talent on this team. It's
everywhere.
gross. You have two running backs that can run the ball and can catch. You have Tom, who's
And
not going to
catch
make too
Deion
many errant
Lewis.
throws. Yep, White. Then you look at receivers. Even Cooks and Edelman alone create so many problems because Edelman always finds his
Mm-hmm.
way open, but Cooks can cause so much trouble because you can take the top off, you can send him across the field, he can do so much stuff. And you've even look in the slot. You mentioned Hogan. What about Malcolm Mitchell? This guy is young, a
Right.
guy that you can develop that has a lot of speed too. The only
And
thing
two,
that
that
would concern me is the safety. They do have McCourty.
I'm about to say that they got McCoy and Chung. I mean, he plays decent back there, but they do need that. They need a replacement. Like you're all right about that. But Chung, I mean, he's okay next to McCoy.
Yeah, they'll be okay this season, but going forward, I'm kind of curious
Yeah,
how
yeah, he needs to
they
be
look to
replaced.
address. There's one other thing that jumped out to me, and not a lot of teams have this luxury, and it's going to be a big benefit to Hydra. Eric Rowe, 76,
Yeah,
91
former
speed.
Eagles,
That's your nickel
former Eagles.
cornerback.
He's a
He
pretty
is
good corner
better
too.
than some
Development
starters on other teams.
Eagles, but we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, Eric, we traded him. But
Yeah,
yeah, he's a very good developmental. He came on really strong in the playoffs. Like he's gonna be the starter. Like you said, next year I think he's gonna be even. Not next year. I forgot who they have, but he's a really good slot corner. Like you said, he's better than a few teams actually starters. And they got some they got Dante Hightower, middle linebacker. He's a beast in the middle of the field. They got their offensive line is pretty good too. They got their left tackles 87, right guard 85. What is the center? I think the
center
center is
78.
70. Yeah, so
But nowhere
their
hits
line.
88.
Yep,
That
so
key
their
number.
line is pretty solid. That's going to give time for Brady to. And like you said, it's so hard to defend this team because, like you said, Edelman always finds his way open. He's super quick. You got Cooks who doesn't only go over the top like some receivers. He, like you said, he has a route tree. He can go across the field. And the most dangerous person on this team is Gronk. So you can't focus on Julian or Cook. So you see them going across the field, but if you see Gronk running a seam route, you're going to have to go with Gronk. Because if he doesn't have two bodies on him, he's coming down with the catch because how big and physical he is.
Yep.
So that team is going to be hard to defend. And that's one of the most well-balanced teams. They have a good defense and a great offense, not a good offense.
Yeah, one other quick note on Gronk, something that makes him even more difficult to guard. Something you mentioned, that he's a great blocker.
Yep.
So something that Wolf mentioned, and that did get brought up in one of the updates on Madden and the news updates, is how it's going to be more difficult to play nickel and dime and to be able to stop the run because corners will have a much harder time being able to get off the ball, in particular the slot corners. So how are you going to attack Gronk? If you're scared of the run in those big sets, are you going to come out in 4-3? If a linebacker's on him, it's a mismatch. If you come out in nickel hoping, try to match a corner with him speed-wise, if it's a run,
Yeah.
he's getting blown up. So you got to pick your poison. That's going to be really difficult to do.
And honestly, even if it is a pass, the corners are small. This guy, he's like a basketball player. He gets you in the post and it's over. Just throw it to a spot.
Yep.
He's one of the hardest guys in the game to guard. So let's see. The next team that we'll talk about is we can talk about the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
That team revolves around Sue. I think he has the strongest. I mean, has the highest strength rating in the game. I think it's 98. He's a 93 overall, and we all know what he does every year in Madden. Whether it's 2 years ago when Ghost had him, the guy who's setting sack records, whether it's last year with RJ, close to 20 sacks. Like this guy is a beast. He's gonna be disruptive up the middle. I like the wide receiver core with Landry coming in at the 88. Parker, I think he's going to be great to develop. He comes in at the 81. He has all the prime rating skills like catching, jumping, and all that stuff to be actually an elite receiver, I believe. And then you got Kenny Stills in coming in at the 80 overall. So they got three nice weapons. And the tight end they added, they traded with the Jaguars, Julius Thomas. He's an 81 overall. He's not a really good blocker, but he's a hell of a pass catcher. Yep. How you feel about? Oh yeah, oh God, I almost forgot. What am I thinking? They got Ryan Tannehill, of course. He comes in at an 83, decent quarterback. But the guy that Sam been waiting to talk about, they also just picked up Jay Cutler. How you feel about that, Sam? Cutler going to Miami.
Well, let's talk about Miami in general here. So, I'll leave what I think of Cutler to my prediction because it's going to play a big role in how I feel Miami's going to finish the season. I will say this, though. That's a huge boost for Gold Rush for two reasons. And the main one being, one of those guys can get traded and you can add a piece to this team right off the bat. Whether it be Tannehill or Cutler, one of them can go. Both can't play. They have, to me, they have a top 5 receiving core to me. They're all young. No all young. Landry, no Parker, doubt. And Stills are all young. They all have speed. And all they have size. Mm-hmm. And Landry, I believe his catch was a 94. So he has sure hands. That's your third down. Or, sorry, disrespectful. 96. Let me be correct there. But that is a tough trio to guard for sure. Tight end are okay. Offensive line is solid. They added pieces on defense, which they definitely needed to do.
Something that you brought up defense, where I didn't get into a lot. A surprising one for me is Brian Maxwell, man. He comes in as an 85, and those of you who don't know, this is a former Eagle who was probably one of the worst cornerbacks in the NFL. We traded him to the Dolphins, and he got benched early in the season. I guess he came on strong. Like, it really shocked me that him being an 85 overall. But what you were saying, Sam, about the D?
I was saying they had for anyone that saw them in real life, boy, the offense the offense got going, especially with Jay getting his, 200-yard games. That defense, though, was definitely what held them back. They needed to add some pieces there. I don't understand how Maxwell is so good on this game, honestly. But it works for them. I like some of the additions they made. Even some of the younger guys they have on the team have some speed. So Goldie will still have to build these guys up. But year one, it does not look so bad.
And even though the offensive line, I was looking at it, they don't have anybody over 80 overall. This team is different where I still feel like their offensive line is going to be okay because they're young. They have last year gas mask Larry Tunsil coming in at a 78. This is only his second year. Juwan James, the right tackle, is a 78. I believe he's no older than 26. And then they have Mike Pouncey at center. So I feel like even though they don't have anybody over 80, he has pieces to build with because they're not that old and they're young guys with potential.
Yeah,
so I feel like the offensive line is going to be okay.
Yeah, and the other thing is they all have good awareness. 4 of those guys have an awareness above 80, and that's the threshold.
So, let's see. Anything else you want to add about the Dolphins before we move on?
I'll save it for later.
And now we'll talk about the owner of the league team, the Buffalo Bills, which they have a pretty good team. They have personally my favorite player in the NFL. I think the most shiftiest running back since Barry Sanders. I mean, this cuts on the dime. He open field. He's ridiculous in open field. Like I said, the best runner I've seen since Barry Sanders. Man, I love Shady. She comes in at a 92. The bully Richie Carnito comes in. The left guard comes in at an 88. The only guy in the NFL to bully another guy. I said the full-grown men in the NFL, but whatever. We got the old guy he's not a flashy guy, but I guess he's just stable, man. Kyle Williams, 87 overall. He always stands out to me, and man, because he's not a guy that's ever talked about on national TV, but he just gets the job done, man. I like him, man. Like the D tackle, Kyle Williams, he's coming in at an 87 overall. Mm-hmm. Sammy Watkins, a young guy who is one of the best premier receivers, comes in at 86 overall, and Buffalo has a lot of they're a pretty good well-rounded team, man. I like them. Like Tyrod Taylor comes in at 82. He has 88 speed, so he's one of the most elusive quarterbacks in the league. How do you feel about the Bills, Sam?
You know, it was kind of weird when they fell so low. I kind of thought that, you know, what is wrong with this team? Because I saw what Truth did with them last year, and I was just curious. I thought that alone would make them go higher in the draft, and then I looked at the roster because BX was debating Buffalo or New Orleans, and I looked at the rosters like, what is there to debate? This team is good. I'm surprised that they fell as low as they did.
It's well balanced, yeah.
Yeah, they have two young cornerbacks, 23 and 22 years old, that start 79 and 78, Darby and White. Have speed that you can build with. You have Wright, who's a good slot guy. Of course, you'll have to replace him as you move on. You mentioned Williams at DT. How about the other one, Marcel Darius?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Darius.
Yeah, so you have solid play up the middle on defense, and you definitely need that. You mentioned the offensive line. You definitely have those good pieces in there, but 4 of the 5 have awareness above 80. So, again, even though 2 of those guys aren't super, super talented, still have awareness, so they'll still be able to help with blitz pickup and being able to pick up guys coming off the edge. Not a bad team. Not a bad team at all. And, of course, Watkins will be the centerpiece of that offense, I believe, with McCoy. Can't sleep on Philly Brown. Young and has speed.
And I was thinking the same thing because their team is good. I was wondering the same, kind of like the Seahawks. Both of them dropped, and basically it's almost like you said, everything that you would want in a team, the Bills kind of have. They're not too old. Some players are a little old, but they're not too old, and it's something that you can build on. It's like. I guess in real life, people are not high on Tyrod Taylor. I'm like, maybe this had an impact on it or everything, but that's speed. People usually like speed.
Yeah. It matters a lot in this game, as we've seen.
Hopefully not too much this year. So, we can get into our predictions this division. So we can start with 4. You can lead it off, Sam.
The disrespect that's about to come out of my mouth. Goldie, I am so sorry. Miami is finishing in last place. Now, getting Cutler today did make me laugh because I looked at what I had written down about Goldie, and I'm like, as bad as it is, this is a match made in heaven for him because in Madden 16, he had Blake Bortles, he had Jacksonville, and I want to say in 4 of the 5 seasons we played that he was top 3 in interceptions thrown. Even when he was trying to run the ball more, he was still throwing interceptions. We know what he did last year. Red zone turnovers killed this man. So many interceptions in the red zone and across the field before he got Blake Bortles, after he got Blake Bortles. Adding Jay Cutler, so he's going to have to first make that decision who is going to be the quarterback. Step 1. 2, gotta cut down on the turnovers. And you know what? Some people have the Favre in them. They just like throwing the ball anyway, and they'll just live with the consequences. And I feel like Goldie is one of those guys, and turnovers, as we know, is one of those things that will kill your momentum and get you out of games quick. He plays really, really good defense, but he just turns over the ball too much. Even with the pieces that he'll have on offense, he's going to put so much pressure on that defense to have to hold up and pretty much carry the team. I just don't see it. I see Miami finishing in last place.
Well, my fourth pick, I'm actually going to have to agree with you, man. Like, sad for me to say because Goldie's my guy. But
Love him.
just to touch on the things that you said, man, watching his games, he can move it between the 20s, man. But when he gets to what Sam was saying, when he gets to the red zone, I don't know what happens, man. Like, I feel like watching him, he was in the red zone, just particularly the red zone, he threw the most interceptions I've ever seen. Like, I don't know what happens to the running game. He goes back to throw, and it's always picked off in the red zone. And for anybody who knows football, the most important part of the field is inside that 20, what they call the red zone.
Gotta
You
walk away
have
with points.
to get points. That's a big turnaround in the game, man. For some reason, when Goldie gets to the red zone, it's picked. Like, he never could punch it in. And not only that, because if you can get 3, it's okay. Everybody wants to get 7. You cannot throw the ball to the other team in the red zone. And I think that's key. Like you said, his defense isn't the best, so he's gonna have to put up points, like you said, with that wide receiving core, and that can hold him back a lot. Like, if he fixes his red zone problems, though, this is a different story. For number 3, Sam.
Hopefully this doesn't get me kicked out the league.
So we all know where this is going. It gotta be
I almost want to flip flop here, but I'm gonna have to stick with it. I'm gonna have to go with Buffalo at number 3.
Buffalo Bills over the Jets.
You've got the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what it is about BX. Watching him on last year's game, he struggled. You know, some people kind of question if, you know, as the coach, if the coach was, you know, fully into it, if he was trying to, you know, really, was success super important to him? Don't know. But he struggled on last year's game record-wise. Madden 16, he had a good run with the Giants. I'll never forget him losing in the playoffs to Pat. Like, maybe that kind of skews my judgment a little bit. But he's got the pieces, but from the games I've played with BX and some of the games I've seen him play against bigger people, like the top guys in the league, he will always be in the game. But it's that last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. It's not just with turnovers. It's not just offense. It's on offense and defense. When you have to make that play, you have to get that stop on third down. You need to convert that 3rd and 4. I don't know what it is, but BX doesn't seem to come up with enough of those plays down the stretch to be able to win games. I just don't think this division is really close as far as talent. Patriots pending. I just don't feel he has enough of those plays, and that's going to hold him back in having success this season.
My number 3. This is where we start to get a little bit different here. Stop agreeing a little bit. Make things interesting. I got to go with the Jets, man. Like, as good as I think Rod is, just are terrible, man. He's going to have a hard time scoring. He's good on defense. He can roam around with the middle linebacker, but you're going to need your corners to guard. You're going to need to stop this run. Only one guy can do so much. Offensively, you can be a good quarterback. You can have great pocket presence. But if nobody's open, guess what? You're going to be in the dirt. Either that or it's going to be an interception, because in this league, you got to stop the other team scoring. You have to score points. I just don't see it for the Jets. Like, he'll be competitive. He'll be in games, but not this year. I got them as 3rd.
All right. I respect that.
So, the second, who do you have? I feel like I think I know where this is going.
I have the Patriots at 2nd.
Oh, I don't know where this is going.
They have the most talented team. The only thing that's holding them back is the user. I haven't played Hydro as much as some of the other guys have, because, I mean, I think I played Hydro twice over the the course of my time, and this is part of why I also am going to have Miami number one. I feel like when there's people you play, going off of what Wolf said last time, tendencies, he plays way too close to the vest, Hydro, in his play calling. He's going to have the weapons, but he likes to run those wide receiver screens. He likes to keep things short. If you're not going to throw the ball down the field, you know what that means? I'm keeping 9 guys in the box. I don't have to have safeties deep if you're not going to pull the top off. And he doesn't do it enough defensively. He has had solid years defensively, but he's not a guy that's able to go make things happen himself. He calls a good game. His guys are going to have to come through for him. He's not a guy that can say, you know what, I need to take this away because he's doing this really well. He just doesn't have the ability, or he hasn't shown the ability to be able to do that consistently. If you can't do that, especially when games come down to the wire, it's tough to win games in this league. There's a lot of talented guys. I just don't see it. I think he'll have a really good season. I think he will compete for the division. It'll go down to the last couple of weeks, but I see him falling flat down the stretch.
I also believe that this is going to be a pretty good division. I also believe that it's going to go down to the last few weeks, but I believe that it will be BX that falls short of this division crown. I have Buffalo Bills as the number 2 team. I believe that BX had a down year last year. It happens. We all have it. I remember those. What was that? No. Not even a down year. The first year, I believe, he went to the AFC Championship game with the Chiefs. Am I wrong?
You'd be correct.
Yeah. So, like you said, things got a little airy towards the end, but I believe once he gets off his baseball, he'll be back. Buffalo is going to make a little run around 9-7, 10-6. They have a good team, man. I feel like defensively, I like BX. I like his the way he calls the game. He has to limit his turnovers and his efficiency on offense, and I feel like that could be done with Tyrod running around, buying extra time, and hitting Sammy, who's a pretty good number 1 receiver. And that defense is stout. And one thing BX loves to do, and his success depends on running game. He has one of the best running games in the game, and I feel like Shady's going to lead them to the second spot in this division. And the best in the division, the number 1 spot in the division. Who's your pick, Sam? Yes, Sam.
Only one left. The Jets will win the division. Yes, you heard me correctly. The Jets will win the division. See, talent only takes you so far on this game. And I know this is not a super talented team, but what can really make or break a good season from a great season is a great user. And it's not just what you do on the sticks, it's what you do in your head. RJ is a top, I would say he's easily top 5. I'd probably rank him as a number 4 user in the league. Defensively, I'd rank him top 3. Game planning, I'd rank him in the top 2. He's one of the few people that can really go deep into his playbook. He's going to make you defend everything. There's some people I know I have to guard. I play Pat. I have to make sure that John Brown's guarded or Fitzgerald's guarded. You played me last year. You knew I had no one else but Evans. You had to worry about Evans. Dylan with whatever receiver was running the drag route, you had to worry about him. Cooks with the Saints. With RJ, you have to guard everything. He's going to expand the playbook. He'll call plays that you weren't even expecting him to call. When everyone has their tendencies of favorite plays to runs, RJ will always throw a curveball at you. He will be the difference in why his team is able to win a division with lackluster talent.
My number 1 is, you were talking earlier about you never got a chance to play Hydro. I've played Hydro on a regular basis. He usually the Redskins. He switched it up a little bit on me. Got them Patriots. Hydro, he has a pretty solid defense. It doesn't matter to me too much about him, whether he uses or not. He always has one of the best defenses in the league. So the reason I picked the Patriots, not for their offense, which I feel like their offense is going to he's going to be better with that offense just because it's that offense with Tom Brady and Gronk and everything. It's easy to game plan with them. So I feel like Tom. It's going to sound funny the way I'm saying this. It's usually because they say users are the ones who play the game. I feel like that little person in the video game, Tom Brady, is going to make Hydra a better quarterback because those screen passes he threw out to Cooks, Cooks has the ability to bust it 80 yards if he gets good blocking. Because we all know, like you said, Hydra's going to throw the wide receiver screen. He's going to throw it about 10 times a game. Tom's going to zip it in there right over that user corner who tried to jump it because he knows how everybody knows how Tom Magic is going to somehow get it by him. And if he gets by the first guy, Cooks is gone. Like they were talking about on the game, how slower guys can't catch faster guys no more from behind. Cooks is one of the fastest guys in the game. And then you got Gronk in the middle, which is the best security blanket in the game. So if things going haywire, in Gronk we trust. So I feel like the combination of that and that defense with Hydro, like I said, Hydro's a good defender. That's one of his strengths. Offense is not his strength. Defense is what he hangs his hat on. That combined with Brady and the boys, that's the reason why I put them the best division. I mean, the division league winner in this league. And I feel like Hydro will be in the playoffs this year.
All right. Well, I think that's definitely the first division. It really went different ways. Everything's pretty similar, just flipping a spot or two. But this one was totally different, except for Goldie. I'm sorry, dude.
This is a weird division because I feel like there can be shocks everywhere. Because honestly, the mass of us, if the Jets win, people won't be shocked, but they'll be shocked anyway because it's the Jets. If the Patriots win, people won't be shocked because it's the Patriots, but they'll be shocked because it's Hydro. This is going to be a fun division because no matter the outcome, no matter the team, it's going to be everybody's going to be shocked one way or another.
I definitely would agree with that. It's one of the few divisions where, how could I put this? If you were to rank the users just off of what they're able to do, not necessarily who's better or worse, but just rating them on what they're able to do on the game from 1 through 4, it's one of the few where it doesn't match the talent of the team.
Yeah.
It's really different. So every game is going to be really... I honestly look forward, obviously your division, because of the talent of the users you guys have there, but also this division because it's just so... It's so different. Yeah, I just really look forward to watching their games. The styles of defense are different. What they do user-wise is different. How they run their offense is different. It's just a really different game. All their division games are going to be really interesting to watch.
It's funny you say that because, like I said, for everybody who don't know, I'm in the NFC East. You got Z, who went to the Super Bowl playoffs basically every year with the Saints, who weren't a good team. You got Chesney, who was the Steelers last year. He also went to a Super Bowl and also won the Super Bowl the lost Super Bowl that nobody was playing. But whatever, he's been to 2 Super Bowls, and then you have Peanut, who won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. He's come back, so I do believe that division is the best division. With the Cowboys coming in, Astro had a down year, but I think he's a solid player. This division, I feel like it's going to be the funnest to watch because it's so weird. Like you just said, because the talent don't match the way they play. It's fun. I feel like I don't know if they're going to have a style because of the way they. It's going to be a silly division, man. I look forward to seeing Hydro with the Patriots because how the heck is he going to play? He's a running team. The Patriots aren't a running team. They like to throw, but Hydro like to throw screens. Brady's gonna want to go deep to Cook. So, like you said, it's gonna be fun to see this. RJ's a top 5 user in this game. I agree with you. So it's gonna be fun to see him with a lesser team. How is he gonna do that? How's that pocket? Which I agree. He's I love his pocket presence. I believe he has the best pocket presence in the game. Where most people bag back or run as soon as the pressure, he, like you said, Drew Brees, who's I believe the best at it in the NFL, he slides up in the pocket to get extra time. So it's gonna be fun to watch this division.
Yeah. And more so as the division tends to, as it expands, it's saying is like going further in the season, in our seasons, Goldie, he's going to have to, you said the quarterback play is one thing, but he does a pretty solid job of building talent on his team, as does RJ, one of the easiest guys to trade with in the league. A quickie, 5 minutes, everything's done and signed for.
Yeah.
They all are good at building their team, so it's going to be fun even watching them how they attack, how they compete with each other in the draft and free agency. It's going to be really fun to watch. Probably, to me, the most fun division in the AFC.
Just from their styles and like everything you were saying, I agree with you. I feel like this is going to be a funny division.
All right, well, it looks like this one was a quick one.
Yeah, we ain't have that many guesses. We got anything in and out. This was like the best time-wise we got.
Yeah.
Usually we're always going over.
So the next division will be interesting.
What is the next one?
I'm feeling like I'm going to be tired. So
it's you.
I don't know how your Wednesday looks. Wednesday or Friday.
Wednesday, Friday. We'll talk about it. It sounds like Wednesday's fine. We're doing your division, aren't we?
Yeah, well, I'll save yours for later because I know that's one that everyone wants to hear, and I actually I keep changing my mind on your division. I need more time to think.
That division's loaded. I'm not gonna lie. My division is scary.
Oh my god, I'm glad. I hate when we have to play the NFC East. I'm already dreading that. It's the reverse of how it was with the NFC West last season. No disrespect to you guys, but it was just weird because, I played Sean probably too many times to count. I know how he plays. We know how Pat plays. And how everyone knows how Sean plays now. It's 3rd and 9. This man's still gonna run the ball, trying to get a first down, and believes he could do it. You got Pat, who's just gonna air raid offense. You got, fly guy, a defensive guy trying to run the ball. It's like you knew how everybody was playing in that division, and it was just weird because it's like everyone that played the NFC West last year is like, man, minimum 3-1. They had such a hard time playing outside of the division. Your division, it's like, hell, can I just get a win? Can I just find one in there?
It's funny because I'm asking myself the same thing inside the division. I'm asking my same, and just to speak on the division last year, that division was funny too because the first 8 and 8 won the division. That division was hilarious. It was because, like you said, their styles, and they were stubborn with it too. You play the Seahawks, like you said, run, punt. Run, 3rd and 12. Let's try a draw. Punt. You play the Cardinals, go deep. Like it wouldn't even just air it out. It was go long every single play. Like you just said, they were stubborn in their styles. So you said minimum 3-1. Honestly, man, if anybody was hoping to go 3-1, they were crazy. That was 4-0 to me. Even though Pat beat me, but let's not get into that.
He beat me too. Hell, I tied with Sean. That was hilarious. This man tied 3 times on last year's game. Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
No, Sean was funny. Sean was funny with it though because you know how most people man, why did I even play this game? I got a tie. Sean had me dying because he would play for the tie. He was hoping to get out of that game with a tie.
At least it's not a loss. It's a half game. I'm like, dude, stop it. Please stop it. Alright, I'm just checking to see what news EA announced today. Like, they usually have something go out every day. The top fullbacks, so we don't even have to touch on that because no one cares.
No, sir.
Hell, half the people don't even know who they are. Yep.
Unless you're the 49ers.
It's a huge drop-off, 91 down to 84.
Because fullback are extinct. Like, a lot of teams don't even carry a fullback on a roster.
Yep, it's just a waste. It's a waste of an option. Rather just run the ball with two tight ends, because at least if you go play action, the tight end's more of a threat than the fullback.
Yep.
All right. Well, this is what I'm thinking here. So yeah, we're going to do the NFC South next. So if you can do Wednesday, obviously I'm going to be here because I'm still going to stream it. But within reason, because I don't need any craziness, because I don't want my Twitch channel to get banned. Obviously, I'm going to need someone to step in for me. I could, of course, speak on the Bucks, but I'll pretty much just be a guest on the next one. So if you have someone in mind, or hell, two people in mind, up to you how you want to do it, I'll be happy to take a backseat for the next one and just chill as a guest.
Okay, so we'll figure it out over the next day, because I'm not even sure yet, honestly.
All right, well, I guess that's it for today, guys. Signing off. Have a good rest of Monday. See you later, Nut.
The wolf comes in talking about something the wolf is